So, I guess every one of you have joined already. Am I correct? Okay, so by the way, students, I am audible. Okay, that's good. Now, for those who don't turn on their camera yet, kindly turn it on now. And for those opened microphones, kindly turn it off so that we can start. So, class, how are your days so far? Okay, that's good to hear. Now, before we formally start our discussion for today, let us begin it with a prayer. So, everyone, let's have a moment of silence for us to feel the holy presence of our Almighty Father. May I request Mr. Joseph to please lead us in prayer.
Let us bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who are present here today, that each one of us may be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We all ask of this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay, good morning class and welcome to our English virtual class. I am Teacher Jen, your instructor for today. Now, before proceeding, let me again remind you to our virtual classroom etiquette. First is be on time, mute yourself, turn on video, be in a quiet room, stay in one place, no eating of foods or drinks during class, come prepared, be respectful, raise your hand to talk, be an active participant, and most of all, have fun and do your best. Again, we need to follow and observe the rules that we have as a gesture of respect to each and everyone, and of course for us to have a peaceful and meaningful class. Alright, this time, I will going to check your attendance and I want you all to open your camera and as well your microphone. When I call your name, raise your hand and say present. Okay, are we clear? Very good. So, let's begin with Mr. Bagas, present. Miss Berendes, present. Miss Paalisbo, present, very good. Miss Daila, present, very good. Miss Ramos, present, very good. Mr. John, okay, very good. Mr. Michael, okay, very good. Mr. Baltasar, okay, very good. Miss Manonong, is Miss Manonong around? Oh, okay, very good. Wow, I am amazed with your attendance today, students. It seems that all of you are present. Congratulations, class. It is indeed a great job. Keep on learning and stay present, okay? So, let's proceed. All right, now, who among you here remember the lesson that we had last meeting? Yes, Miss Berendes. Very good. It is fact and opinion. Now, what is fact, Mr. Bagas? Okay, very good. A fact is a statement that can be tested by experimentation, observation, or research and shown to be true or untrue. Now, what is opinion, Miss Daila? Okay, very good. An opinion is a person's belief, feelings, or judgment about something, about the things, or about a person. An opinion is a subjective or value judgment, and it cannot be proven. So, who can give me an examples of fact? Yes, Miss Ramos. Okay, very good. Your heart pumps blood through your body is an example of fact. Correct. Okay, now, who can give me another example of the fact? Yes, Miss Manonong. Okay, very good. The leaves of growing plants are usually green. That is an example of fact. Well done. Now, who can give me an example of opinion? Yes, Mr. John. The ice cream tastes delicious. Very good, Mr. John. That is an example of opinion. Now, give me another example of opinion. Yes, Mr. Baltasar. Okay, very good. Blackpink is the best K-pop group. That is an example of opinion. Again, fact relies on observation or research, while an opinion is based on individuals' assumption. So I guess all of you are now ready to take another lesson. Am I correct? Okay, so before we proceed with another lesson, let's have first a drill. And this activity, student, is entitled Here I Belong. Now, what you are going to do is to sort or group these images on the screen into group A or group B based on their similarities, but with a twist. Now, open first your microphones and camera. Okay, so as you can see, I have here some colors. And what you are going to do is to find a thing or something that has the same color to the color I will going to show to you. Okay? And students who are unable to find something will be the one to determine whether that image is belong to group A or group B. Are we clear? Okay. By the way, you will only given 3 seconds to find a thing. Understand? Okay, so let's start. I have here a color green. 1, 2, 3. Okay, very good. Let's see. Yes, Mr. John. Okay, you have a green color. Okay, Miss Manunog. Very good. You have a green t-shirt. Miss Dyla. Okay, very good. You have a green flower. And what else? Yes, Miss Berandes. Okay, you have a green cup. Okay, it seems that Miss Wilmarie doesn't find anything. Am I correct? Okay, now, what do you think speeches and bar graphs belong? Is it group A or in group B? The first images in group A and group B is done for your reference. Okay? Speeches belongs to group A, and bar graphs belongs to group B. Okay, now, thank you, Miss Wilmarie. Let's proceed with another color. Blue color. Okay, in 1, 2, 3. Time's up. Okay, now, let's see. Yes, Mr. John, you have a blue towel. Miss Wilmarie, you have a blue car. Very good. Miss Dyla, you have a blue t-shirt. Very good. Miss Kathleen, you have a blue sunglass. Very good. And it seems that Miss Berendes doesn't find anything. Am I correct? Okay, now, Miss Berendes, where do you think letters and knowledge maps belong? Is it group A or in group B? Okay, thank you, Miss Berendes. Now, let's proceed with another color. I have a black color. In 1, 2, 3. Time's up. Now, okay. Yes, Mr. John, you have a black ball pen. Very good. Miss Ramos, you have a black pencil pen. A marker. Very good. Miss Gimpisao, you have a black eyebrow. Very good. And yes, Mr. Baltasar, you have a black towel. And it seems that Miss Michelle doesn't find anything. So, Miss Michelle, where do you think story maps and newspaper belong? Is it on group A or in group B? Okay, very good. Newspaper belongs to group A, while story maps belongs to group B. Very good. Now, let's proceed with another color. I have here a yellow color. 1, 2, 3. Okay, time's up. Let's see what you have found. Okay, Mr. John, you have a yellow cup. Very good. Yes, Miss Dyla, you have a yellow hair clips. Very good. And Miss Wilmarie, you have a yellow headband. Very good. And Miss Kathleen, you have a yellow slippers. And it seems that Mr. Bagas doesn't find anything. So now, Mr. Bagas, where do you think reports and concept map belongs? Is it in group A or in group B? Okay, very good. Reports belongs to group A, while the concept map belongs to group B. Okay, let's give yourselves a round of applause. So, that's all with our first activity. Are you guys having fun? Well, that's good to hear. Now, let's proceed with another activity. This time, students, I want you to give your best and try to answer the given activity. Are you ready? Okay, so as you can see in your screen, there is a scrambled letters, right? And what you are going to do is to try to rearrange the scrambled letters in your screen in order to form a word or its correct word. Understand? Now, I will give you 3 minutes to rearrange the scrambled letters. Your time starts now. Okay, time is up. Let's see if your answers are correct. Now, what is the correct word for the number 1? Yes, Miss Dorantes. Very good. It is linear. And the second one, yes, Mr. John. Very good. It is not linear. So, for the third one, yes, Miss Daila. Very good. It is text. And for the fourth one, yes, Miss Kathleen. Very good. It is letters. And for the fifth one, okay, yes, Miss Ramos. Very good. It is articles. Now, the sixth one. Yes, Mr. John. Okay, very good. It is tables. For the number 7, yes, Miss Kathleen. Very good. It is maps. Now, for the 8th one, Mr. Bagas, what do you think? Okay, very good. It is a chart. Now, for the 9th one, yes, Miss Kim. Okay, very good. It is graphs. Now, for the last one, yes, Mr. John again. Okay, very good. It is novels. So, well done, students. You have arranged the words correctly. Now, what have you feel when doing this activity, Mr. Bagas? Okay, you feel confused? What else, Miss Kim? Okay, you feel nervous. But why did you feel nervous? Okay, because you are afraid, you are nervous that you answered the activity incorrectly. Well, actually, you don't have to feel nervous or afraid when answering. As long as you try your best and you give your best, then there is no wrong with that. Now, what have you guys observed the moment that you rearranged those scrambled words? Yes, Miss Kathleen? It is more about graphs and text. Okay, what else? Yes, Miss Kim Isao. Okay, you observe that the words are related to each other because graphs and it is all about text, just like what Miss Kathleen said a while ago. Now, what else? Yes, Mr. John. Okay, thank you, Mr. John. Now, from the activity we have conducted, what have you learned when doing it? Did you learn something or not? Mr. Bagas, what have you learned? Or did you learn something while doing the activity? Okay, you learned that scrambled letters are difficult. Oh, yes, rearranging scrambled letters is somehow difficult. Okay, now, what have you learned, Miss Paalismo? Okay, you learned that the scrambled letters, it is about graphs and text. So, thank you everyone for your cooperation. Now, those activity that we have done is actually related to the lesson that you will going to learn for today's session. So, who among you here have an idea about the topic that you will be learning? None? Okay, the topic that I will going to discuss today is all about linear and non-linear text. But before proceeding, let me first introduce to you our class objectives. Okay? So, at the end of the lesson, students will be able to differentiate linear and non-linear text, transcode linear to non-linear text and vice versa, and create or construct linear and non-linear narrative. So now, what is linear and non-linear? Okay, linear text refers to the traditional text that needs to be read from the beginning until the end, while non-linear text refers to the text that does not need to be read from beginning to the end. A non-linear text is the opposite of linear text. As its name suggests, it is non-linear and non-sequential. In other words, the readers do not have to go through a text in a sequential manner in order to make sense of the text. On the other hand, in linear text, grammar and styles are being focused. In linear text, it may take time for the readers to find the information they are searching for. In short, linear text is time-consuming. However, in non-linear text, it does not take time because it allows readers to find more information efficiently. Meaning to say, non-linear text is somehow a summarization of a particular text. So, the examples of the non-linear text includes tables, pie, charts, pictures, diagram, character maps, and etc. While the example of a linear text includes letters, textbooks, news, reports, essay, and etc. So, as you can observe, the examples of linear text are required readers to read it from the beginning to an end in order for the readers to understand the message affiliated in each example, such as the essay, the text, the paragraph. You must have to read it from the beginning until its last part in order for us to really understand the message affiliated in that particular text. While on the other hand, the example of non-linear text, as we can see, it gives us only the important point, or somehow it is a summarization, just like what I said a while ago, that it highlights only the key points that the reader should know. So, therefore, non-linear text is not time-consuming, unlike to linear text, which is time-consuming because it is need to be read from the beginning till the end. So, did you understand the linear and non-linear? Okay, very good. So now, how to transcode the information from one form to another? Okay, so when you transcode, you convert a linear text to its non-linear text representation. For example, paragraphs to pie charts. As we all know, a paragraph is like somehow a sentence. And then you transcode it to non-linear text and then it becomes a pie chart. Okay, and to non-linear text, to its linear text form, is an example of that is table into a paragraph. For example, in the table, it shows the score of students in a math subject. And in order to transcode it into linear text, you must make it into a paragraph. Like for example, you are explaining that in a math subject, Mr. John got 75%, while Mr. Bagas got 80%, and so on and so forth. Now, take note, class, that if we transcode linear to nonlinear or nonlinear to linear, we need to make sure that the original message of the text should not be changed or revised, even if you are going to make it into linear or in nonlinear. The only change happened is the structure or the format. Understand? Okay, very good. So, why is transcoding is important? Do you have any idea? Okay, so transcoding is important because of many reasons. For example, when a text, just like a paragraph or an essay, we all know that it is too long. But transcoding it helps us to make it shorter and it easy for us to read and understand the message of that particular text or essay. Understand? Okay. Another example on why is transcoding important is that, for example, again, paragraph or essay. Paragraph or essay holds a lot of information that is difficult to understand, process, or remember. And transcoding it makes information easier to understand and remember, since information is converted into a simplified and more visual format. Only those important information that needs to be given more focus or attention is written on a non-linear text. Because in a non-linear text, important information that needs to be given more focus and attention can be easily highlighted when presented in a form of a paragraph, charts, or tables, or in short, in a form of a non-linear text, compared to when presented in a paragraph or in essay form or linear text. Okay, so what to do when transcoding a linear to non-linear text? So, to transcode linear to non-linear, first is identify which information needs to be presented in the new format you will going to do. Second, select which non-linear text representation such as table, charts, graphs, diagrams, and etc. is the best to use to represent the information. And the third is do the transcoding, but make sure that you will not add or delete any information that will change the original message of the particular text you are transcoding. And the fourth one, make sure to include a title, a labels, and legends whenever it is necessary. Because title, labels, and legends is somehow important, since title will directly tell what the readers will see in your tables, in your charts, in your graphs, or in your diagram, and so on. Labels, on the other hand, these are some words, signs, or symbols that provide and add clarity to the information you have presented. The labels also help in explaining the relationship between the ideas and the information presented. And of course, the legend. The legend also is important because these are words written on or next to a picture, a shape, a color, or map that explain what those mean. Okay? Now, what to do when transcoding non-linear to non-linear text? So, this is the steps on how to transcode information to non-linear and non-linear. First is, identify which information needs to be present in the new format you are going to do, the same as transcoding linear to non-linear. Okay, so second, starts your paragraph with a topic sentence that states the main idea of the table, charts, graphs, diagrams, and so on that you are transcoding. The third one is discuss the idea or information which are important or the information you want your readers to pay attention. And the fourth one is make sure also that you will not add or delete any information that will change the original message of the text you are transcoding, the same as transcoding information from linear to non-linear. Okay? So now, I will give you an example of transcoding linear to non-linear. To transcode this into non-linear, I use story mapping. As you can see in your screen, there is a story map of a Cinderella and a book or a story of a Cinderella. Now, this story map in your screen is an example of a non-linear version of Cinderella. So, did you understand the linear and non-linear? Okay, very good. So this time, I will give you 3 minutes to study well the linear and non-linear text because after that, I will going to cite some examples of linear and non-linear text and you will going to tell whether it is linear or non-linear. So your time starts now. So, time's up and let's start the activity. So when I state some examples, all you have to do is to say whether it is linear or non-linear. Okay, so kindly open your microphones, everyone. Okay, very good. Now let's start the activity. Novels. Yes, Mr. John. Okay, very good. It belongs to linear. Tables. Yes, Miss Daila. Very good. It belongs to non-linear. How about the letters, Miss Manunog? Very good. It belongs to linear text. How about the textbooks, Miss Gimpisaw again? Okay, very good. It belongs to linear text. How about the pie or a pie chart? Yes, Mr. Bagas. Okay, very good. It belongs to non-linear text. The diagrams. What do you think diagram belong, Miss Ramos? Very good. It belongs to non-linear text. Now, the news, reports, and essay. Where do you think those belongs? Okay, very good. Those belongs to linear text. Now, how about the character maps? Very good, Miss Daila. It is belong to non-linear text. Okay, very good. Good job, students. Now, this time, I will going to cater all your questions and clarifications about the lessons that we have tackled today. So, do you have any questions? Mr. Bagas, do you have questions? Mr. John, do you have any clarifications? None? Since no one will ask questions, then I believe that you all truly understand the lesson I have discussed. Am I right? Okay, now, since you said that you understand the lesson, then I will going to ask a question individually. Let's start with Miss Daila. Miss Daila, what have you understand about the lesson that we have discussed? Okay, very good. Non-linear text does not required to read from the beginning to end. How about Mr. Baltasar? Okay, very good. Linear text needs to be read from the beginning to the end. Very good. Okay, yes, Miss Ramos, what have you understand to the lesson that we have today? Okay, very good. Non-linear text includes pie graphs, charts, diagrams, concept maps, and etc. Yes, Miss Kathleen, what have you understand to the topic that we have today? Okay, very good. Linear text include paragraphs, essays, and etc. etc. You guys are now well knowledgeable about the topic that we have tackled, I will going to give you another activity to test your understanding. So, to evaluate your understanding, I want you to transcode linear to non-linear and non-linear to linear text. So, look at your screen. The first part of the activity is you have to transpose linear to non-linear. The paragraph here in the screen is stating the differences and similarities of dogs and cats. And all you have to do is to transcode it into non-linear. Are we clear? Okay. So, the second part of the activity is to transcode non-linear to linear. As you can see, there is a pie graph. A pie graph is an example of a non-linear text. The pie graph in the screen represents how the given allowance spent in a week. And what you have to do is to transcode it into linear text. Okay? I want you to write your answer in a long bond paper, and I will give you 5 minutes to answer this activity. Your time starts now. Time's up. So, just set aside first your activity because later on, you will going to submit that. Now, before we end this discussion, let's go back first with our class objectives to see if we met the objectives that we have. So, can your class differentiate linear and non-linear text? Okay, very good. Now, can your class transcode linear to non-linear text and vice versa? Okay, very good. And last, class, can you create or construct linear narrative to non-linear narrative? Okay, very good. And now, since it is weekend, I will going to give you an assignment. So, for your assignment, I want you to create your own linear text and transcode the linear text you have created to non-linear text. Type your answer in a long bond paper, normal margin with a font, Arial narrow, and send it to my Gmail account. Your answer in a non-linear must be edited in Canva. Make sure that is readable and you use the correct non-linear framework that is suitable to the linear framework you have done, such as the charts, organizers, tables, and etc. And those activities that we had today, I want you to take a picture of your answers and put it in one file and submit it to my Gmail account, momjen@gmail.com. So now, before we formally end, I want to congratulate you all for having a perfect attendance for today's session. And with that, I will going to give you all a credit. I will give each of you an additional 10 points for today's activity. So, keep up the good work, class, and that's all for today's session. Goodbye, students, and have a safe weekend. See you on the next meeting. And you may now leave the virtual classroom. Bye!